Today I'd like to introduce you to a new reel from KastKing. It's called a Rover. They come in three sizes, 40, 50, and 60. It's a basic round bait casting reel. This is the largest. This is the 60 size. I would suggest this particular reel if you were going to be using it mostly in heavier currents where you're going to need heavier weights to hit the bottom, say 8 ounces, 6 ounces, or in deeper water, sometimes 40, 70 feet or so. I'll be using this particular reel myself in salt water. I run a charter boat called the Grand Slam out of Montauk, and in Montauk we have pretty strong currents, and I'm commonly fishing in water 60, 70, 80 feet. I'll be catching a lot of fluke, big fluke hopefully with this particular reel come May. A little bit of striped bass fishing, we would say fish in the school size range, say 10 to 15 pounds, and probably some bluefish in that same size range, if not a little smaller. And we'll also be using this reel to catch a lot of porgies and sea bass. I'm sure this reel would be just fine for redfish, catfish down south, for the anglers that enjoy that type of fishing. This particular reel was based on a KastKing RXA reel, which is this particular reel right here. Right away you can see a couple of quick changes. Number one are the different handles. I particularly like this handle because it's a little more substantial. The technical term is called ergonomic. I believe this is like a Hypalon material, which is what a lot of rod manufacturers use as their rod grips. Another feature that you'll see is that the free spool is now basically can be almost considered ambidextrous, because I can either hit it with my right thumb or my left thumb, where previous it was mostly just a right-handed configuration, because while I'm holding the reel I couldn't really hit it with my holding the reel on the rod, I couldn't really hit it with my left thumb. The biggest change that you'll see cosmetically is that the original RXA had a level one. The new one doesn't. So we're calling this reel also a captain special, because as a charter boat captain, and a recommendation for myself and many other notable charter boat skippers, is that a lot of times we take out a lot of newbies or novices to fishing, and it's real easy for them while they're manipulating this particular reel, whether they're letting line out or if they get stuck in the bottom, to get their thumb or one of their fingers pinched where the level line goes up against the side of the reel. And if that's a problem that we can avoid, I mean, why not? I mean, we don't want to get anybody injured. And with the level line, it's just another thing that can break. And charter boat captains like things that are tough and won't break. So if we can get rid of an issue, you know, we're all for it. So those are the three big differences that you can see by looking at the reel. Differences that you can't see is that the Rover B now has carbon fiber drags, which will give the reel itself a little bit more power when you set the drag, which is a star drag. They'll also last a little bit longer. And another change is now is that this one has 6+1 ball bearings, whereas the old reel had 5+1 ball bearings, which you can see is written right in there. Again, it's a nice reel. The gold spool is very attractive. Looks cool. Chicks might dig it, something along those lines. And a nice little Rover emblem here in gold definitely makes it pop a little bit. I'll be spooling this particular reel up like I did this one, which is another Rover. This is spooled up with 30-pound KastKing Super Braid line. I've been using this line for 3 years now. I've had absolutely no issues with it. It's a great line at a very affordable price. As a charter boat captain, I go through a lot of line in a season. I mean, I have a 35-footer. I take 6 people out fishing all the time. I have close to 30 rods and reels on my boat. That's a lot of line that I got to keep spooled up. The KastKing has managed to save me line with actually no loss in dependability or characteristics of more expensive braided line. So I can't recommend this line enough. There are also some new high-tech lines that came out from KastKing. They're just a little bit more expensive, but if you need a thinner line or something along those lines, you might want to check them out. But on a reel this size, I will spool it up with about 150 yards of 30-pound KastKing Super Power braid. You're always going to have to put some backing on here. So what I'll do is I'll put a good portion of, say, 40-pound monofilament line to start off the reel, and then when I get to right about maybe a quarter inch or so from the top of the spool, that's where I'll put my 125, 150 yards of braided line onto it. A couple things, I mentioned the carbon fiber drags. I set mine 30-pound test. The way to do it is 1/3 the breaking strength of the line. So I will take a scale, I will set these drags at about 10 pounds of pressure, and I'll pull it off the reel a couple of times so I get a little muscle memory to realize about how tight 10 pounds is. But at the end of every trip, I always back off on the drags. This will, and you can do that just by turning the star drag counterclockwise. This will increase the longevity of your drag washes tremendously. Another thing to remember when you get back to the dock or back to your car or back home, you're going to rinse your reels off, especially in salt water. I know some freshwater guys don't bother, but in salt water we always rinse our reels off. When you have the hose, don't push the nozzle all the way down and flush the heck out of the reel, because what that'll do a lot of times, that's just going to push the salt water into the inner workings of the reel. Just touch the manipulate the hose nozzle just so you get that light spray, and then just move it around like so, and just let the salt water be washed away as opposed to washed into the reel. And you know, a little lubrication here or where the free spool works is definitely not a bad idea. And other than that, I was very happy with the original RXAs, with the improvements here on the Rover. As you can see, I already have 2 of them. I prefer these sizes just because of the depth of the water and the size of the fish that I am normally trying to catch. If you don't fish in deeper water, or if you're catching fish mostly under 5 pounds, or maybe say between 5 and 7 pounds, you can get away with a lighter reel such as the 50 or the 6 or the 40. But I'll just stick with the 60s for what I do, and as you can see, it basically just fits nice in my hand. And if for the price range, they're going to range from $45 to $55. They get a full 1-year warranty. I can't see how you can beat that price range. So give the KastKing Rover a shot, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully in the future I'll put up a few more of the products that I like from KastKing. Have a nice day.